Throwing Muses are an American band from Rhode Island. They were formed in 1981 or 1983, depending on which bit of the Wikipedia page you believe. They were initially fronted by stepsisters Kirsten Hirsch and Tanya Donnelly. Initially, it was those two and a drummer. The drummer was replaced after a little while by another drummer by the name of David Narciso, don't know how to pronounce that, who was known for drumming without cymbals because he learnt to drum on a kit that didn't have them. In 1991, Tanya left to form the band Belly. The others carried on. They unsuccessfully stopped existing in 1997. That only managed to last for 5 years. They were back together by 2002, and they're still going. They have released 11 albums so far. The most recent at the time of making this recording is 2025. Hi, my name's Dan. So this was the debut album by Throwing Muses, not to be confused with their eighth album, which was called Throwing Muses. Now, apparently, according to the band, this is an untitled album, but most people have used their name, which is what tends to happen if you have an untitled album. This is my first listen to this album. I have reviewed one of their albums before, but not on this channel. So I've reviewed The Real Ramona before when I had a blog that I did reviewing on. And so I was listening to it and thinking what I describe this as in terms of genre, and the term post-punk came to mind. And in fact, both Acclaimed Music and Wikipedia use that term, so I'm feeling quite confident about that. But still feel like I'm not really sure what that means. In this case, I think it means it's kind of punk's happened, and it's got influence from punk, quite a strong influence from punk, but it's not full on punk. And in some ways, it's a little bit more quirky than most, proper punk is. But it's strongly guitar based. It's quite immediate music. It's got somewhat the energy of punk. It's certainly got somewhat the raw feeling of punk, although very raw punk can feel much more chaotic than this. It's got a feeling of rawness that's contained, if you like. It's musically fairly simple. The drumming can be unusual at times, as he tends to avoid the cymbals. There are some tracks with cymbal use on them, but he tends to use quite a lot of tom sounds, which kind of supports a particular sound. The singing is female, so this is both Tanya and I've just immediately forgotten her name, Kirsten. And so sometimes the singing together, I don't know if they take it in turns to do lead here. Yeah, they've got quite similar voices, and it's all kind of emotive and anxiety ridden. Occasionally there's kind of punk feel in the singing, by which I mean some of the ornamentation to the singing. There's certain kind of things that female punk singers did, which seem to be kind of bleeding through here somewhat. So the songs are mostly basically about angst and pain. They seem to be somewhat abstract, as far as I could work out. To be honest, quite a large amount of time I found it hard to hear what the words were. But you get the general impression of this angst and pain from the way the singing is going on and the kind of feel of the music. So I felt like it was yet another voice for a disaffected generation. I'd say not my generation, but it was 1986, so maybe it was. Every generation needs a voice for the disaffected, possibly several. But if there are too many of them, they might feel like they're not disaffected anymore, so there's not going to be too many of them. Whatever. I'd say if it hits your buttons squarely, if it absolutely hits what you're looking for, then it could be a big hit with you. Otherwise, like me, you might find it a bit C-list. I kind of felt like I've heard this kind of thing before. It's got some elements of uniqueness to it, but not strongly, and I wasn't particularly drawn in by it. Initially, I found it somewhat pleasant, but after a period of time, I just found it a little bit irritating, to be honest, over time. So Not a great fan, I'm afraid. Not a huge detractor. I wouldn't say I hate it, but it didn't draw me in strongly. So that's what I think. As always, I'd love to know what you think of the album. So please do let me know by leaving me a comment. Yes, that's the right way to do it. And that's it from me for now.